out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. Guess what? It's Talk Shit Tuesday. What up? Sir. What up? What up? What's up? That's right, y'all. It's Talk Shit Tuesday. Hey, appreciate everybody for showing up and showing out tonight. Hold on here. To all my people out there on the back street, I want you to know I see you, fam. Let's see here. Let me see who we got out here in that chat room tonight. Oh, yeah. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to my man, Mr. Dickie Foster, coming in with a two-piece, showing love like he always do. I want to give another big shout out to Pitwise Kennels, coming in with a 20-piece, showing that major love. Say, what up, chat? Salute from Eastern North Carolina. Say, what up, chat? What up, fam? Appreciate that, representing Eastern North Carolina, my peeps. What up? Let's see what else we got going here. I want to give another big shout out to my man, Heart and Finish Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Heart and Finish, appreciate that shout out, fam. Seen the video, man. Thanks a lot, fam. Always representing. We'll always represent you too, fam. Showing the love. Right back at you, fam. Big shout out to Melee Kennels in the house. What up, fam? My man Styles Kennels in the house. Yo, yo, yo. What up, fam? My man Double M Despo in the house. What up, fam? Bite down and shake that like button. I feel you, fam. My man Robo in the house, what up, fam? Big shout out to my man. Hold on, I got to take care of my man right quick. Welcome to the Shark Tank, Pitwise Kennels. Y'all make sure y'all show that man some love. Yo, my man, Mr. Melvin Brown in the house, what up, fam? DMV Freeze in the house. Appreciate coming in with a 5-piece, showing the love. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Bruce Banners in the house. What up, fam? I think I got everybody right there. Oh, yeah, I still got it. Big shout out to the 260 boys in the hills. What up, fam? My man, Mr. Derek Lockett's in the house. What up, fam? Getting anybody? Big shout out to Elevated Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man, Mr. Mike Lee in the house. What up, fam? Make sure I got everybody. Again, big special shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank representing. Y'all know how I feel about y'all. We're nothing without you. We're nothing without you. Big shout out to my nephew in the house. Scratch Line News in the house representing. What up, fam? Big shout out to AQ Henry 2.0 in the house. What up, fam? Let me see. I don't want to make sure I don't forget nobody. Nobody's going to be forgotten. Again, big shout out to all my people out there in the Shark Tank. Y'all know what's up. Representing hard. Make that blue represent. Bam! To all my people out there on the back street, I always want y'all to know I see you. If you don't do nothing but hit the like button, it's always going to be appreciated. Thank you. Hey, fellas. Now, you know tonight's Talk Shit Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to just try to keep this, cordial because it's Talk Shit Tuesday. And before Mo get in, I'm going to have to say my damn piece. Now, the last show, we wanted to go over, creating legacies with these dogs. And I'm just going to be straight up with you. Creating a legacy is not something that you intend to do. It's actually something that you just fall up on. And that's being straight up. It's not like we try to be big-headed or better than anybody out there. Remember, we give all our success, all our knowledge to our mentors, the people that we follow behind, the people that took that time and shared that information and put us on the right track. Now, just because they were giving us the information, they were spending that time with us, but it wouldn't have meant nothing if we hadn't have done or at least utilized what they were willing to give us. To me, you're not gonna. It's like, how you gonna not show the people who showed you and help you become who you were, who you became? I'm always never trying to say that we ever tried to be better than them. It was never about trying to be better than them. It was actually trying to be a better dog man because of who they were. And that's on the real. And I think all my boys, and our proteges and everybody who went after us, who took those dogs, they didn't have to do the things that we were suggesting that they do. Basically, we were telling, I think Mo was trying to show y'all the last show. If you take these certain dogs and at least do it the exact same we were doing it, there would be no reason why you shouldn't get the same thing that we were getting. Because we were able to do this over years and time. And our proteges and other people who got these dogs, hell, why not? And to me, that right there is where the legacy part begun for us. Because it became the going hard shit. We put our name on that shit. Once they got it, they put their names on the shit. But the good thing about it was when you go back there and look where that shit come from, I find it a blessing and a pleasure just to see our shit in there. Behind good dogs. Behind good lines. I always felt like the dogs make the kennel. The kennel don't make the dogs. And the reason I say that, because even though the kennel's responsible for everything about that dog, even sometimes the birth or what you're feeding on your yard, but doing all that, would that mean all of a sudden because I got a bunch of dogs on the yard that we supposed to be about that life? No, because that's not the way the game worked. I mean, not from in our day. Give a damn how many, hell, you can have 5 dogs on the yard. To give you an example, Suburbanite Paul. You know what I'm saying? 5 dogs on the yard. But who don't know Suburbanite Paul? You would have to be in the game to know some of these people that's in the game because they had great dogs. Grand Champion Sable. Bad bitch. I mean, if there was anything that was out there that wanted to get on her, one thing she was definitely open to, and that was she was open to the world. You didn't find too many takers So you can't hate on a person because there wasn't nobody willing to deal with it. And I mean, we come from an era where there was a whole lot of bad bitches out there. But then I go to tell you about the game. Sometimes it just pays, they pay homage to people, you know what I mean? And just let certain things just go. Competition was tough. You put in that work, but very seldomly did you have them big, them great matches to where people took them chances, to give up that opportunity, to lose all the work that they put in. You had to have some hellified confidence, to be going after 6, 7, and 8, bruh. And let alone 9 and 10. Because y'all know back where we come from, grand champion, you lose, you ain't a grand champion no more. Nowadays it seems like you can still be a grand champion with a loss. But again, I can't speak on the now and how they do things in the now. I can only tell you back in our time, you had a lot, at stake, when you took that L. So, and then for us, competition, it was a big thing, but that goes to show you that, money didn't matter. It wasn't about the money. You put in your work, you retire your dog, and then you do what you do, and have a future. Not everybody had the opportunity to have ROMs and grand champions and champions all out on the yard. You know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't work. Because if everybody had an opportunity to do that, everybody would. So it wasn't something that just came, with a fly-by-night thing. You could get up a whole lot of people in the neighborhood, but, until you got out of the neighborhood, would nobody really know you. So I always give homage to any and everybody who had a lot to do what we did and was able to create. Simply because without them, there would have been no us. And if it don't be for the people who took the dogs after us, and remember, they could have went any kind of way they wanted once they got their hands on them dogs. But what I liked about it is they went to the right type of people who had the knowledge, they was in it. Don't fix what ain't broken, try to make it better. And a lot of them got great success out of them. The reason I'm having this conversation because for me, y'all know what we do over here. We speak about our past. For us, it was a pit bull community. Believe it or not. There's a whole lot of people out there in that fast lane. There was a whole lot of people that were in the dogs who weren't really trying to get in that fast lane, but they have their hands on some of the best dogs out there. So they was always a part of that community. You know what I'm saying? Some people were just breeders. So they wanted to make sure that whatever they had on their yard, they had some of the best shit out there. So that part right there is what made up the community. You had your fakeries going on, but they most of the time, you only got away with that shit but for so long. If you had a fake champion out there and the community felt like it was a fake champion, that community was big, and believe me, somebody was coming. They was coming and knocking. And you had to answer the door, or the community will let you know about your fake ass champion or your fake ass papers or your fake ass breedings. I mean, back then the community kind of made it a point because we had things like the Journal, like the American Game Dog Times and other magazines and then other books. So you got a chance to hear all the different stories and everything that was going on. See, for us, we were living in that time. See, some of the things that y'all read in books, we were living and moving around in that time period. So we didn't really have to wait on the books or wait for other people to put out the stories. Because when you were traveling around in the community, regardless of what state, what city, what person's yard, as dogmen, everybody had a story. Everybody had a story. And y'all know how stories is. You tell one person, by the time it get, 10 people down, it's a whole new different story. But that was a fun part of the community, because you knew all the things that came with the community. See, the dog men made the community what it was. I mean, you wouldn't be able to talk about a lot of these dogs if it don't be for the community, because wouldn't nobody want no bullshit, wouldn't nobody even deal with bullshit, so it really wouldn't be nothing to talk about. Even with the beeline situation, that shit didn't last long, but the man was still able to just, go off into the sunset and let history take it from there. So when you talk about the Midnight Cowboy and all them other fake ass champions he had, time took care of a whole lot of that, simply because people tend to forget the controversy that came behind those dogs as time went on. But for that moment, I think Windy City, it might have been Windy City, I'm not for sure, but I know somebody took up a lot of those dogs. And that's where a lot of that breeding came from. Some of them dogs were good dogs in the right dog man's hand. But as time went on, the controversy went away. But the thing was, the community itself, remember, for us, we were the youngsters then. We were the young ones coming through those walls. Look at all the new faces that was coming in. You had a whole lot of them old schoolers getting the hell out the damn way, based on what was the new faces that was coming through. Whereas was coming through with some monsters. A lot of them dogs that we talk about back in that time period, you don't hear us talk about going into Ed Farron, or Ozzy popping up, or Gambler. I mean, these were guys that would show up, but they'd be showing up without dogs. Because they still wanted to see what was happening, what was going on. So, yeah, we got a chance to see a lot of great shit. Because that's the way the community kind of rolled. It was basically, when I talk about community, it was places that you could go, and regardless of where you went, you ran into somebody that everybody knew, or you knew, or we always had a habit of running into each other. Had people coming by visiting you, and phone calls and conversations. See, that's the community, that I can truly speak, for that part, because we live that part. These people that we talk about, these aren't people that we had to read about on books. These are people that we knew personally. And it was easier to understand and the growth of being a dog man and all the things that came with it, because for us, we were trying to be like them. And I know that might sound crazy to a lot of y'all, but, if you're trying to be an NFL pro football player, or any sport that you're trying to be, there has to be somebody that you are inspired by, that you want to get your skills to that level to where you can at least first, let me just get there. Now that I'm there, now I want to shine like you shine. So in order to, just because I'm there, don't mean I'm really there. Because once you got there, you had to be able to stay there. And then once you was able to stay there, you know, you had to be able to shine. And what I mean by shine is wins always brought, you know, conversation. Always. Because everybody, you know, in the community, somehow, some way, we had our way of knowing what was going on, how it was going on, who was doing what. And it was just a community-based situation. If you really think about it, and y'all go back and look at some of these old journals and look how many matches and over all them journals, over all them years, American Game Dog Times. Just go in there and just imagine all them matches. Those are people who were getting together and making these things happen. These shows were based off the community making these things happen. You know? So to me, everything that you're gonna always have, you know, people, I say you're always gonna have your issues. You know, I'm not trying to say we had a perfect community. You know, because first of all, us personally, we never got involved what people were doing in their personal life. You know, what people did in their personal life was totally different than what we were doing in our dog community. Not saying that, you know, dog community, you know, some people had their own personal affairs, but imagine your personal affairs is all out there in the dog community and everybody running around talking about it. That kind of shit just didn't go down. But it was that same type of shit, you know what I mean? When that personal got involved in the dog, led to a lot of problems. If you know, one thing for sure, just Ricky Jones, perfect example. It wasn't the dogs that got Ricky. It was the other shit that Ricky was doing. But outside of that other shit that Ricky was doing, he brought the dogs into the whole conversation. And so it was those type of things, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's always going to be some type of bad apple, regardless of whatever goes on in life. Whether you're in the streets, just sports, that's just territory. But the thing that I stress is the things that made up the majority of the community. See, that's where the strong words come from me. Things that made these things that y'all see, all these matches in these books, what it took to bring them kind of events together, knowing everything that was involved. The integrity. You need integrity for off the jump, because when we talk about integrity, honesty, being truthful, you know, all this stuff came when you walk to everything associated with the foundation of the game. When it came to the person, always started at the scale. Regardless of what was going on, I always put it like this. I was a good person when it came down to communicating and having fun, but when things mattered, when it was like showtime, I can truly tell you, I didn't trust everybody. Actually, I didn't trust nobody. And that's being honest. That was my job. You know, I didn't trust nobody. So I was always on my P's and Q's when it came to those types. You know, but where did I get that from? Because look at the kind of people I was hanging around. So I knew all the tricks of the trade, all the things that people did. You are a part of a community that ain't nobody, you know, ain't got no secrets. If you know a person got rubbed, you want to know how you got rubbed and how do you know you got rubbed type of situation. You know, people go to asking questions, you know, because some people, you know, they get out there and they see they shit getting their ass whooped or something, and all of a sudden they want to blame it on somebody cheated. But you don't have nothing to go off of but just saying that. Then you had those ones who felt like that, that would take that animal and get that animal tested and have the work to say, yeah, this is what happened. Yeah, we had the moments. We did have the moments. But when the moments happened and people was bringing them receipts, you know, you might as well just go ahead and cash in, and because nobody gonna trust you. Nobody gonna trust you. You know, Chico know what that feel like. Once you got busted, you know, you was already gone at that point. All the bullshit y'all did afterwards, it didn't even matter because wasn't nobody gonna mess with you anyway. But time took care of that. Time took care of that. But these are the things, when I talk about the community, these are all the type of shit that's involved in that part of the community. But let me put this in perspective. There's a difference when you're dealing with the community in your backyard compared to when you're dealing with an entire community that goes statewide, countrywide, different countries. You know, that's a whole new different type of community right there. So you don't want to mess up in that part of the community because, you know, bad news travels like wildfire. And the last thing you would want is to have your name involved in some bullshit because nobody's going to want to mess with you. Whether it was you stole something or didn't pay somebody or you did some bullshit at the scale, you know. I mean, all bad news was going to come out, and trust me, it traveled like wildfire. But those type of things wouldn't affect you when you just doing it, you know, in the neighborhood. Because the neighborhood would do you the same way that the big community would. They would cut you off. Everybody would know about you and your bullshit. No, don't mess with him. He ain't right. Imagine that on a bigger scale. You know, listen to some of the things y'all read in the book, how some of the great dog men, you know, and you see at one point these dog men had to have some type of relationship because they did breedings together. They created good breedings together, but then all of a sudden they fall out. What was it that made them fall out? What was the true story behind the fallouts? You know, greed is like a virus. You know, even for us, we had haters. The game is always going. It's not pertinent that we weren't skeptical to having the same thing that everyday life would throw at you. But the thing was, you had to be able to identify it and then make your decision on how you chose to deal with it. You know, I didn't come from an era that when we had, you know, shootouts and shit. I was never a part of that. Never had to worry about nobody doing no rubbing because anybody who knew us knew how we were. They already knew how I was. You know, Twin and them, and that's who you fixing to deal with. They ain't nothing to be playing with, you know, because yeah, I'm licking dogs. I'm going everywhere that you go. Ain't nobody touching nothing. You don't start no shit, won't be no shit. We get all that established before we even start washing and even hitting the scale. This is how it's going down, and this is what you can expect. So it won't nothing be no big ass surprise. So I ain't got to worry about you acting funny. I ain't got to worry about you touching on your clothes or anybody else handling this dog. We're going to do it just like this. You don't want to agree with that, then take your shit on home. But that, to me, was the business part of the game. And we didn't I ain't start that shit. I learned that shit from my boys. My peeps taught me that shit. They knew me and Mo ran together. They knew how we did the things that we did. Our proteges. Imagine once they got involved. You think I'm gonna show them, the game and not show them the entire game? They learned the whole entire game. So when we sit up here and we have these conversations, we put it all out there. We actually try to put y'all back on the bus where we at, and let's take a ride. Because we're going to tell you exactly, without trying to leave out nothing, to put you in that mind frame. Because I'm hoping that your goal is not to try to do the things that we did. Our goal is to use that information that we give you, and you take it just like you was picking up a book and reading a book. Or any book. Velvet and Steel. American Game Dog Time. All the different stories from all the different dogs, man. You can get out there. If you go out and buy them Schoolboy books and buy them Fat Bill books and that Crenshaw's books. And I want to give a big shout out to AD. I got to get his, put a link out there as soon as Mo get in. He's got a YouTube channel starting. I told him I would take care of him on that. But while I'm out here, before I get too deep in here, let me put this out here. My man Pitt Wise, that's a good question. He said, where do you stand on social media taking pictures with dog men at confirmation shows? Some people call it glazing, deriding, clout chasing. Others call it effective networking. Where do you fall on that? Pitt Wise, I put it like this, bro. Last year, we went to our very first pig picking. And we used our show to let everybody know that, hey, we're going to the pig picking this year, and we want everybody to come and just show up. I don't know how it was this year, but I know last year, out of the 10 years that they have been doing the pig picking, that was the most people that Tom ever had at a pig picking. And that's not by me saying that. That's just coming from Tom. And I met a lot of old dog men. I got a lot of pictures with some old dog men. I had some young guys who was trying to take a picture with me and Mo. But he handed the camera to Mr. Divine. I said, hold on, bro. You handing the camera to the wrong person. I said, you don't know who that is. Now, these are young guys. They don't know who that is. But I stopped him. I told him, hold on. Give me the camera. Y'all get over there and y'all take a picture with that man right there. Because that picture going to be worth more than any picture you could take with me and my brother. I want you to take this picture and I want you to go find out who that man actually is. I'm going to give you his name. And Mr. Divine was kind of shocked by it. But he took the picture with the young guys. It was a crew of them. I guarantee you, we still took that picture with them. But I guarantee you, they will cherish that picture. Because where they didn't know who it was, just the fact that they have a picture with the Divines is something that you will put away and cherish because you're going to have something to talk about. See, that's how I feel about taking pictures. I don't see nothing about deriding and all that other bullshit because, again, look, this is how I look at it. If you were somebody worthy of even talking about where anybody would want to take a picture with you. Why wouldn't you take that picture? And if you've seen somebody, one of them great dog men, why wouldn't you want to take a picture regardless of what anybody say? Do you know how many pictures, if you look at some of these books with Kobe and Leitner and Mr. Boudreaux and Maurice, look at them pictures. Do you know how valuable to be in one of them pictures is 20, 30, 40, 50 years later? Why would you want to pass up that chance if you have that opportunity? That's how I feel about it. And that's just my personal opinion, because I took a lot of pictures with a lot of them great dog men that was at the pig picking when I was down there. Even some with Tom, Super Kennels, I mean, whole bunch of them. And a whole lot of other people who wanted to take pictures just because it was us. I'm not going to sit up there and try to tell them, no, hey, I got a podcast. Yeah, people were saying, man, we rode all the way down here just to see y'all. And you think I'm going to sit back and tell them, no, you think they was dick riding us? We are nothing compared to you. You on Tom's yard. You know what I'm saying? You got Bob Finley and all these other snake man. You got all these other great men, the Divines. I mean, it was roster, man. Look at all the great people was there, but yet there's people still there wanting to take pictures with us. We were signing memorabilia. We were signing breaking sticks and collars and all types of shit. I call it, I feel privileged just to be, a part of that. And I'm nothing like none of those other guys. But one thing I know about what we did back in our time, those guys knew who the hell we were. Not too many people who didn't know the twins. Now, people talk all that shit they want, but when you do your damn homework, you realize, oh shit. Because unlike a lot of these other people out here, they can't sit here and do what we do. They can't sit here and do what we do. Because we actually did put in the work. We don't have to fake the funk. I am nowhere near on the level of Eminem or the Divines or Snake Man or Tom or Rasta Man or Super Kennels or the Abrahams or Mau Mau. I mean, my list, or Stone City or Big Mike in hardcore. My list can go on. Nowhere near on their level. But one damn thing for sure. You can't act like you don't know who the hell we were, because we made it a point to get out there to be known. Because we were doing the exact same thing they was doing. All the way down from the Havana Boys, Latin Force. I mean, that list goes on when you playing in that game. So no, I don't feel like it was even the Untouchables. We was even taking pictures with them. I mean, I got my little Mr. Rodriguez. Got my pictures with him. No, damn what anybody else say. I'll be dead and gone. And the only thing y'all got to remember me by is maybe them pictures. But at least I got pictures with some great dog men. No, I don't feel no certain type of way about that shit. I feel that if you have the opportunity, why wouldn't you? And if you was really about that life or on their type of level, then you would understand that when somebody wanted to stand next to you and say, sir, can I get a picture with you? Would you feel the same way if somebody wanted to take a picture with you? Because evidently the only reason they would want to take a picture with you is because of something that you've done or some type of role that you had to where people know who you are. You know, that's how I feel about it. Because I wasn't the only one down there signing hats and breaking sticks. What you think all the other great ones was doing? Hell, I had a damn private conversation with Mr. Finley and Tom Garner when everybody else was off doing whatever we was doing. We spent another hour down in the damn underground tunnel talking about, frozen sperm and how to do it. And got a chance to ask all the questions I want. Mr. Finley, I take my hat off to the man. Now, Bob and Tom, they can talk. But I found it a privilege because we wasn't dumb to the dog game. And so that conversation was real, it's one of the highlights of our career. To be able to take our wits and be able to stand amongst two of the greatest, dog men out here and be able to have a nice conversation and get more information, not through somebody reading a book or anything, but right out of the damn horse's mouth. How wouldn't you not appreciate that? How many of y'all wouldn't love to have an opportunity like that? What we sit here and give y'all on the video might not sound like nothing because you can't appreciate what you're getting for free. But if you took some of the information, even half of what we sit here on these videos and tell y'all, because a lot of y'all really don't know who we are. That's okay. That's okay. But we don't have no problem proving it and showing you. That's what receipts do. And again, I can tell you where we got our shit from because I can pull everybody up. Mo does that with the greatest of ease. So where we can create where we created our own shit. We were able to stand on our own. We were able to get out there and hang amongst the big boys and put in that work and have something to talk about. Not just because, we wanted to throw a podcast like we out here bragging. Don't need to brag. This ain't nothing about bragging. It's about giving back. Why wouldn't I take a picture with a young guy that sees us on a video, who sees the kind of work we put in? Hell, I'm trying to get Roster Man and Tom and Mr. Bob Finley. I'm trying to get all them in all them pictures so them young guys could have me in them pictures with all those guys because I want to be amongst them because this is going to be the picture that might be something to you one day. Why wouldn't I be that guy? Why would I turn my nose down to somebody like that? Yeah, I would always want to be a part of it. Because look at them. Look at them old pictures. They're all in books. Those are very cherishable pictures. The Tudors, the Lightners, the Kobe's. Them pictures, that's our history. Gentlemen, that's how I feel about that. I think everybody that's in this community, you're in it because you're trying to work towards something. You're trying to accomplish something. It ain't about what the next man doing. It's about what you doing. Wasn't worried about what everybody else was doing. What we was trying to do was be like them, but not be them. We were trying to be us. How do we learn to be us? By watching them. Because at some point in their careers, and I learned this, and I've heard a lot of them great dog men, and I've had many conversations with some of the best out here. All the way down to Mr. Struthers, the Legion of Doom. I mean, I've had from Havana, Chico, you name it. Yankee Boys, Vietnam. I mean, come on, man. The list is this. It's a learning experience, first of all. And it's a great experience to be able to have that and be able to share that with you, knowing that we're taking everything that we've done in our past, including the people, because we're never going to let you guys forget them. That's why we always bring them up in our conversations. We try to bring the real as from our point of view, from what we know, from what we've experienced, from what a lot of these guys, we've been on their yards. We got, Mo got, they took all the pictures and everything. We used to have pictures of all these people's yards. All these great dogs. They done been to our yards. All these great dogs, they come into our yard. Why? Why? All these years later, people still can remember. Yeah, I remember the twins. It's not too hard to forget us because, it wasn't too many twins running around, but me and Mo and I think the other twins out of Carolina, I think out of New York. Yeah, they were out in New York. Real known. They had some badass shit. But it's not too many people who didn't know us. But my thing is when you keeping it real and you really trying to accomplish something, you have no control over the legacy part. Because that's going to come automatically if it's worthy of being something to talk about. Will we really be talking about Floyd? Floyd is a living legend. He's a living legend. There's going to be them times where he's going to be his time going to come and he's going to be like the Tudors and everybody else. But does that mean we have to forget about him? He's going to be a legend regardless if he's living or dead. That's why I always say show homage and respect to everybody before you. Because if you can't do what they have done, then that means you can't be on their level. So your conversation will never be like the conversation that we have about them. Because you've never done anything or you haven't looked to do anything to be on that type of level. So that's not hating on nobody. That's just keeping the real reality of the conversation. Can't put yourself in a situation that the game that the game already know that you ain't in. We didn't have to get out here and prove shit to anybody when we got on this talk show. For anybody who wanted to ever talk all that bullshit, all we tell them to do, go do your homework. Because you already know how our attitude was. And really haven't really changed that much even now. Because again, to ask us anything, I'm still like on what Mo said. What makes you worthy? Who are you? And what makes you worthy to even get a fucking answer from us? Give me a reason why I gotta even answer anything that you're saying. Who are you? That's how I look at it. Because sometimes I think it's disrespectful. You ain't nowhere close to be talking. I have, all the respect, and I always say I have all the respect in the world for Fat Bill as a dog man. And I leave it at that. Because he has put in his work. I have all the respect in the world for Tom Garner. Regardless of what y'all might think or say about him. All the bullshit that come with it. But one damn thing for sure. Tell me that you put in the work like he has put in the work. Hell, they said the same thing about Maurice Carver. Say the same shit about Don Mayfield. Say the same thing about Earl Tudor. Say the same thing about all these other dog men. Even as we come up through history, everybody gonna have something to talk about when it comes to certain dog men. But guess what? They were worthy of being talked about. You didn't have to like them, but you better respect their work. Because if they wasn't shit, they wouldn't be having nothing to talk about any damn way. See, that's the community I come from. And I didn't create that community. That community been like that for years. Years. So when I see all this bullshit, and I'm sitting back just thinking, okay, what's all the drama? Where all the drama coming from? I don't see no Latin force. I don't see Super Kennels, Mama, some of these other great kennels out here. Even the ones that's some of the great ones that I know that's actually in that chat that y'all might not even know who the hell they is. How come I don't never see none of them in no bullshit? Because maybe, you know, I see my nephew out there, Scratchline, big shout out to him. You know, we family, whether y'all know it or not. So I remember when we all got into this shit, how people used to, because they didn't know. And they would always, they just not gonna let you start, you know, talking no shit. And I used to feel the same way about them, you know. Some of y'all going back and forth with Scratchline, you know, back in, and I'll be looking at you, you don't have no idea or who you talking to. No idea. You can't even walk in that man's shoes to even put yourself in a position to be talking shit to him. So that lets me know right then, you have no idea who you talking to. And see, that's the shit that I be looking at when I sit back and watch all the bullshit, because see, I know him. And the day gonna come, and I hope if anything ever happened to me, that he would actually just step up and just take over and tell their story. You know, maybe everybody wasn't like us, but to me, I think it is their responsibility and their duty to always pass it forward. That's what it was all about for us. And it didn't start like that with us. Remember, the old boys was telling us the same thing. Pass it forward. Sometimes everybody's business ain't, you know, your business. So you have to be skeptical about, you know, real skeptical about who you talking to, who you bringing into whatever you doing. And they were right. So that shows me and tells me that we were respected enough that they were willing to do that for us because of our integrity, our character, our honesty, our willingness to be better. That's the community I came from. And because of that, you think they didn't bring it too down, you know, you got to make sure you pass it forward. It ain't everybody's business. That means I have to be responsible for the knowledge that was given to me, because that kind of knowledge is not meant for everybody. Nobody wants to be out there giving they keep the twin in them and they going out here telling every damn body. Who does that? How long are we going to be friends if we was doing that type of bullshit? Or how to feed, or how to do any damn thing, or how we breathe. You had to be special to get that type of information back then when it mattered. Everybody didn't get that opportunity. We can give and share that opportunity now because we ain't in the game no more. So we don't have no problem sharing the love. But we ain't sitting here giving you everything. But what we are going to sit here and do, if y'all just pay attention, ain't nothing back there that y'all can change. Y'all can't change our history. It is what it is. Y'all can't change none of the dogs that got out here and did what they did. Nothing. Talk all the shit you want about it, but I tell you what, show me somebody who can sit down and do what we do. I mean, literally. And I ain't taking that ain't shooting no shots across the bow. That's just me keeping this shit real. Show me your shit. Pat Bill can do it. I know he could do it. I know Rastaman could do it. I know Schoolboy could do it. I know Bakari could do it. I know Ram could do it. Whether y'all like this suit what I'm saying or not, these are facts. They have enough work that they have put out there and done in their past Don't and can't forget J-Bo. He could do it. Non-Stop could do it. Because they got the work. I mean, my thing is, damn what everybody else doing. What I'm saying to you is fact. This ain't about who like what the fuck I'm saying. The fact is, if you felt funny about what I just said, then you turn around and you do what these guys can do. Don't talk shit about it. Don't fix your mouth and think and talk shit. No, what you need to do is do what we do. Put up your work. Show me where your work is done. Show me what you have done that you can sit up there and say that these dudes right here, they work. History is something you can't change. It is what the fuck it is. How you gonna argue about that? Don't say shit. Just pull your receipts. These men got receipts. These men got history. These men got work. These men had dogs. These men are not going to be sitting up here going back and forth with you now based on something they did back then. We feel comfortable sitting back, willing to share that type of information. Share the shit that we've seen and the dogs we've seen and the men that we've been around. Everybody can't do that. So that's why I always felt like, wait a minute, let me back up and take a quick look at this goddamn community, this American Pit Bull Terrier community that I'm sitting back looking at. Because maybe it needs some realignment going on here. Because only certain few that I know who can sit down and do what we do. And have the work to show for it. Literally show the work. Not everybody can do that. And that ain't throwing no rocks and no stones at nobody. It's just when I'm sitting here saying to y'all, when I hear this community bullshit, that means people like us are supposed to be what represent the community. People like all the ones out there in these chats are supposed to be the ones representing the community. Like I said, there's some badasses that I've seen out here that I know personally in these chats. Y'all could have no idea who some of these people are. And for the ones who do know, I don't see anybody throwing it all over the place because evidently you understand like I understand. Sometimes people just don't want to be like that. Sometimes they just want to just come in and enjoy themselves because they love the fact that they talking dog. And so every time that they throw some information out there, you know, people should just gather it up, appreciate it, and keep on moving. Don't have to know exactly who the hell we talking about. I'd be appreciative of the fact that they just be in our room. That's what I'm talking about. And when it's time for them to tell their story, they know they got a platform where they can come in and share it. But until that time comes, I'm always going to appreciate because it ain't meant for everybody to know. But I show homage to the ones that I do know. So all the other bullshit to go on, and all the other back and them forthing, but I ain't yet to see nobody break out and know nothing. I had a dog off of this. I had a dog. What it do? What you get out of it? That's the only dog you had? I mean, these kind of conversations to go back and forth and back and forth. If you was really about that life, would you really be going back and forth? Really? If you really had something worthy of talking about, would you have to say really anything? History would take care of that on its own. All you have to do is just go back and pull your shit up and just, hey, here it is. This is what I did with it. This is what they did with it. And that's what they was doing with it. And that's why it is what it is. There's nothing that you can talk shit about. That's just history. That's the entertainment part, y'all. That's where you're getting the knowledge from. This is where we be pushing certain things. Quit just looking at papers like they're papers. Stop looking at this shit like you're just looking at some shit. Why don't you pay attention to why he's actually trying to show you something? Literally. Our last show was strictly built, meant for making an American Pit Bull Terrier legacy. There were certain formulas, there were certain things that led up to what we ended up doing. But if you follow what he was trying to show you, just look at what he's trying to show you. Whatever that we was doing here, there was other people doing it. But if you took all these dogs out of it, what the fuck would y'all have? Nothing. He's trying to tell you. All this other bullshit that y'all listening to, but then if you're paying attention to what he just said, what he is showing you. Because that is something that you cannot go back and change. It is what it is. When you have it on your yard and it looks like that, you'll be able to sit back and have the same conversation and show, based over time, this is what it did. Because at some point, you got to know what the fuck you're talking about, first of all. Number two, if it wasn't worthy of talking about, we wouldn't be talking about it and even showing you. Wouldn't even be a conversation. But there's certain things, it is what it is. It is what it is. See, not everybody who got these dogs did what we did, so they were not going to get the same results, gentlemen. So this game never was built like that. You're supposed to take the ones, you do the shortcut part. You're taking the results that are already set in stone. Here are the results. This is the shit that worked. This is the shit that consistently worked. This is the program that I need to bring in to what I'm doing. But I got to be a mad scientist to figure out what did they see? What was there? Other people, but what was it about that shit right there? You do your homework, you'll see. You'll see. Because as much as we talk about dogs around here, everybody should know what kind of dog Going Hard had. Y'all should already know the style. They were back-end dogs, period. All of them dogs are known for hard-biting, fast, back-end dogs. Give a down what you had. Didn't matter. Our record was not built on us acting like we care about what you had. Didn't matter. That's the past. That means all them people, all the matches, it did not matter what they had. This was the type of dog that they would have to deal with. Why? Because those are Going Hard dogs. They don't go long. And they monsters in the back end and they can bite. Very talented dogs. History shows that. Don't have to sit here and be bragging on something that was already done. You want to ask me about the dogs and what kind of dogs we had, we're going to sit here and tell you. If you look at our dogs and look at the other people's dogs and everybody that we was learning from, look at their shit. Why would our shit be any different? We just took on a different type of style. We did things a different type of way. But we still took a little bit from everybody and made it our own. And we stuck with it. How do you make it consistent, twin? You do the same thing that they did. That's it. Our shouldn't look no different than what they should look like. We just all using different dogs, but the concept stayed the same. See, this is the community that I'm blasting right now. Because I don't hear me out here blasting nobody. Y'all done been on this show, and anybody who has followed us, we done seen them come up, and we done shot them down. Because ain't nothing fake around this bitch right here. Receipts speak for itself. Don't have to brag. We don't fight dogs anymore. This ain't about that. This is about sharing information, giving you different formats and ideals of history, entertainment purposes only. A good dog is going to be a good dog. It's up to you to realize what a goddamn good dog look like. I don't need me to be telling you what a good dog look like. I can tell you what a good dog looked like for me. Back in my day, a good dog was a dog that was winning, smashing your ass. And then they was able to produce what they were doing. Be consistent. I mean, they entitled to be around the yard. They entitled to be bred. They entitled to be something to talk about. That other shit you won't hear coming out of our mouth because shit, what is it to talk about when it ain't nothing there? Got to make it a conversation. Got to have something to make a conversation about. You got the nerve to be arguing about some shit, you better have something to be arguing with it about. And when it comes down to these damn bulldogs, I don't see where you would be wanting to argue with us any damn way, because I don't think you got enough out there to even be arguing about. And that ain't shooting no shots. That's just me being honest. You know, remember Talk Shit Tuesday? Keeping it real. You know, don't have to like it because it wasn't meant, and I'm not putting it out there for you to even care whether you like it or not. My thing is, I'm talking to the community as a whole, because none of this shit matter if you didn't have the people sitting out here watching. But none of this shit matter if wasn't nobody watching that shit wouldn't even matter. But because people are being entertained by that bullshit, that's okay. I'm not from that world. I'm not from that world. Where I come from, you talk shit, you better have a dog. The world I'm living in now, you talk that shit, you better be able to stand up and have something, even be able to say any goddamn thing, talking about anything about dogs fucking around over here. Just to even be worthy of even having that type of conversation. See, some people you can talk that shit with. Some people, that shit don't work. You ain't got enough back there to even keep up. So that's why I don't get into that type of shit. Some people get mad because of what I say, because of some shit. That's going to be a short argument. Keep it real. Don't even put yourself in that position to even have that argument. Sometimes just pay to let shit go. Quit getting in your feelings and letting shit just all of a sudden, you know, like you talk. I don't worry about a motherfucker out here having anything about what we do over here. I've always said, and I will always continuously say it. What we did in our past is what we did in our past. Ain't nothing back there you're going to change. But there's nothing back there that we can't talk about. It's sure as hell ain't nothing too much back there that we can't show you. And we just let that shit ride like that. Let your past speak for itself. You shouldn't have too much to say. That's why I don't get into the bullshit, and I always talk about how and why we became what we became because of the people who opened up their doors, who took that time and was willing to share that kind of information with us, stood by us. was there to give us all the little intricate details and see all the great shit we was able to see through a whole bunch of lenses. That was opportunity for us. We share that because they deserved that. Not too many people who can say that. And for the ones who can say it, maybe they just don't want to. And so I give them their space. And that's where I be at with that. But the community have to understand we in a different world and different times. Them kind of conversations have had y'all locked up. It don't even have nothing to do with no dogs, no nothing. It's just, I guess that's the part of entertainment. I think I could, starting up another channel, if I wanted to get 1 million views or 10,000 motherfuckers to come watch some shit, I can guarantee you I could come up with some shit and have one of the most funkiest fucking attitudes that you would ever want to see in your life when it come down to actually talking shit and really be about that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what it takes to be them type of people. Because sometimes some of these people, they ain't really about all that. They about doing their research and they putting down some shit and they'll crack your ass up in the head and then have motherfuckers knocking at your door just to get you to realize that you ain't nothing but a dial tone away and be dead ass serious. See, and that's what brings the bullshit under control. See, that brings bullshit under control. Because one thing you have to understand, everybody ain't about that bullshit. And some people just don't feel like they got to go up, do 10 and 15, 20 years, to be worried about that shit and they let it run off their shoulders. But some people ain't really about that kind of, they ain't that easy giving, especially because you don't know half the time of who you dealing with or who you talking shit with and don't really realize that motherfucker really ain't got to do nothing but dial a number. And that beef would totally be over instantly. Some people come from that type of life. Because for me, that's an everyday life. Because you're never going to find me in a situation that I got to sit back and be listening to that type of bullshit. Or going through that type of bullshit. You're either going to put up your papers or you're going to either put up your shit or then you're just going to let that shit go. But you're going to keep it about the goddamn dogs. And see, that's might hurt your damn feelings because that's a conversation you didn't have no business in any fucking way. Did you ever think about it like that? You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to stay in your lane. It pays to stay in your lane. And it's hard to stay in your lane, when you trying to do something, that ain't in your lane. Talking about people when you're supposed to be talking about the dogs. That's why I be saying them conversations get real short. When you keep it about the bulldog, conversations gonna get real short. Especially when you're dealing with the right motherfucker. Because you really, sometimes it just pays to shut up because you ain't got enough. You don't even have enough to even speak on. So what's wrong with just letting that go? Keep doing you. But don't try to be better than be something that you're not. And don't nobody like to be, nobody wants to look bad. But see, when we did this, it didn't never matter to us. Because there's nothing in our past that you're going to change any damn way. I'm too old to change. I am who I am. Mo is who he is. We OGs in this shit. What we trying to do is share information. Show you. Tell you from an old person's point of view. Why you really ready to kick dirt all on motherfuckers like us, you know what I mean? Because we ain't dead yet, so guess what? You're going to have to deal with it. That's all. Might do a little cramp in your game out there. It's all right. It's all good. That's all right. You keep doing what you're doing, we'll do what we're doing. But the community as a whole, that's a whole new different story. Because we're not trying to look good for the community. What we're doing is we're sharing information with the community. And for those who really want to take advantage of that information and utilize it to make you a better dog man, or just make you more interested to go out and just become and do the research and be willing to be like, you know, a whole lot more than what you started with. Because that's where we at. That's why we do what we do. Ain't trying to sit on top of the world. If I was trying to sit on top of the world, we still be, you know what I'm saying? We still be calling weights and some shit if that was the case. But ain't nobody doing that, man. We ain't selling no dogs, so we ain't got to brag about shit. It just ain't even nothing about that. You take all that out of the conversation, being we ain't trying to sell shit. We ain't doing shit else. What is the only other reason we would do what we do on Tuesdays and Fridays? The same thing that started us day one is the same game plan that we deal with today. And I keep telling y'all, we coming to the end of that. You know, and sometimes y'all don't understand, maybe this shit, it brings a whole lot of heat. You know, you can imagine with our background, but, you know, electric going off, internet, you know, YouTube just cutting shit off. I mean, all kind of crazy shit. But sometimes maybe the message ain't meant to be heard. Maybe people, you don't know what's going on behind the scene, but it doesn't matter because we're not doing anything wrong. But we do tell y'all to live by the disclaimer. Take this information and understand. We're not trying to get y'all to break no laws. We're telling you and sharing with you the history, the educational and the entertainment purposes, how to deal with an American Pit Bull Terrier. That's what y'all come here for. And that's what we look to give you. So enjoy the show. It's on you, Mo. It's on you. Damn, I know I missed some people out here. Let me see who I got out here right quick. Big shout out to my man, Mr. Courtney Edwards. I seen you, fam. Let's see. Big shout out to Welsh World Vlogs. I see you, Welsh. What's happening, fam? Again, that big shout out to Mr. Courtney Edwards, my man, Mr. Bruce Banner. I see you, fam. MB for fire. What up, fam? My man, longtime supporter, the one and only Mr. David Morse in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to Yo, my man, Uncle Willie's Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to Cecil Jackson. What up, fam? The incomparable Eli Monsters in the house. What up, fam? My man, Mr. Vernon Starr. I see you, fam. Royalty Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to Mr. Chico Sellers in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to Deep South Country in the house. What up, bam? Sick with ball pythons in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to Dunda. Dunda. What up, fam? I took care of that, Don Don. I don't know what happened, fam, but I got you. Pitwise. Now you know you from Eastern Carolina, so I know you know old man Abernathy. You know what I mean? You remember Abernathy Shirley? You know, Abernathy had a lot of good dogs. See, we talk about, there's a man right there. Abernathy go way back. But remember we told y'all about James Pope and his relationship with Mr. Abernathy and old Dr. Kimsey Wood. See, we know all them people. I bet you that man got some stories that will almost coincide to everything that we done told y'all based on the relationship we have with them same people. That's what I'm saying. Big shout out to Boogeyman Kennels in the house. What up, fam? MKM Bottoms in the house. What up, fam? $517 Sec in the house. What up, fam? ODG Bulldogs in the house. What up, fam? My man, you rock, Sir Rock. What up, fam? SFK Fred. What up, fam? My man Supreme Excellence in the house. What up, fam? Okay, Mo. I'm going to turn this over to Mo. And I'll let him ride out with it. Appreciate y'all spending that time with me. I mean, I hope y'all got a little bit out of the conversation. Y'all know you know how I get. Mo can get y'all back on the dogs. I'm still talking about my people. That's all. And again, we will be nothing without you. So don't forget to keep hitting them like buttons. Don't forget to keep supporting that channel. One love.
What up, everybody? We're gonna start this thing off right.
Big shout out to my man, Mr. Michael Collins in the house. What up, fam?
What's up, everybody? I'm just sitting here looking at this pedigree sitting in front of me.
Sorry, I ain't put it up, man. I got a couple of them up in there. Remember what me and you was talking about?
Them top ones. Yeah.
Even that shit you found out with them Hendrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought I'd do that so you can find your way around. I'll be right back.
Okay, y'all. No, I was just sitting here thinking. Now, Courtney Edwards, this is for you, bro. Remember I think it was an interesting question he asked me. So let me see it. Let's pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up first, so we can talk about it. I'll be right with you guys. Okay. This is for Courtney Edwards. You know, hey Courtney, if you got a picture I can grab up of Rocky, let me know where to find it and I'll pull it up. But he asked me about this dog right here. He said, how did Buck beat Rocky? He said, how did Buck beat Rocky? Rocky, nice, strong dog. He's a Jeep dog. So you got an idea of how he looked coming off of Grand Champion Miss Rage. He definitely had the body work of what you would call, those Buster dogs. Anybody ever seen what a little posse Buster dog looked like? Remember, I told you I had one named Solo. Beautiful body. The one she hung herself. Yeah, she was right off of Little Posse's Buster. And Queen, to be exact. But she was just a beautiful dog. Big head, big body, but short. I mean, it's not like short cowboy. I'm talking about she was a small dog, but she had a compact of muscles that was, nice built dog. And Rocky looked like one of them kind of dogs. But he was off the Jeep in Grand Champion Miss Raids. But he lost two. And he asked me about the butt match. The butt match was, he did lose to him, but it was a good match. The match where he was on a whole lot of a bulldog, and he was definitely a little big to be going into. But they took Rocky in the Grand Champion Ace too. That was his second loss. I think he lost the Ace before he lost the Buck. I may be wrong. It might be the other way around because I know it was Ace's first match. So he beat Rocky his first match. Yeah, Rocky picked up in 43 minutes. And then you say, well, how did Ace beat Rocky? Too much bulldog. I know one of the things that I know is if Rocky was a 39, 42 pounder, and Ace was really a 45, 46 pound dog. Rocky gave up a lot going into Ace. And Ace being the type of dog he was way too much bulldog for Rocky. I think that's after that loss there, they brought Rocky back down to where, more acceptable. But even then, he seemed to be giving up a little bit, even the Buck. But as you can see, he's a good bred dog. And he did produce a few, not a lot, but he was hey, look how he's bred. But yeah, he lost to two grand champions. He lost to Grand Champion Buck, and he lost to Grand Champion Ace.
Courtney said was Buck bigger than Rocky.
Yeah.
My man Courtney asked.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
My man Courtney asked, was Buck bigger than Rocky?
Well, I know Ace was, and I think Buck was like a 42, 43. But still, we're talking about a 39, high 42. That's still a 3 pound weight in between. Even with the body that Rocky had, I'd have kept him around 39, 40 because you know, for him to even get into the situation that he ended up going, he goes in the grand champion Ace, and we know Ace was like a 45, 46. You know, that's way too big for him. What the hell was Johnson doing? No, that would be the question. You see, his chain weight is 47. Ace was like a 46-pound dog. He wasn't no little mug dog now.
And that was Ace's first time out when he beat Rocky.
Yeah. So Rocky was probably a pretty good dog. You know how they is. They're you know, when they hunt. You know, and you know, you see he wasn't playing. He went into some top-notch dogs. You know, even in loss. So, you know, when you got them kind of dogs and you see how they bred, you run them. What you scared? You ain't got no reason to be scared of nothing. No, he lost with him. He came back, won a couple more, then he lost. But he was a match dog. That's why he went and been down 5 times. That's a match dog. You know? Yeah, we just looking at the pedigrees. We're looking at the his breedings. I don't know too many people know about that one. You know what I'm saying? Look how he's bred. I mean, are we analyzing what we're looking at? It's like when you analyze what you're looking at, and you taking it and you putting it back together, and you just add a little bit more, just a little bit to get the perfect one. Remember, I was just talking about Solo being off of Buster and Queen. That's that breed right there. You know, good cross, good breed. Look at the outcome. And you got all the right dogs right there to make it work. Nice breed. Definitely a rough one. I can guarantee y'all that. I bet you he was rough as shit. Extremely strong bite, a ruthless assassin. Know what kind of bulldog he was. Know what kind of bulldog he was. This right here put that aggression and that ability. It helped with the ability because I think Tojo and Rascal, you know, they were good fast lane dogs. But I think Rocky put the match dog in him because Rocky was a match dog. And it would have been wise of me too if I was Honeycut to take my bitch and breed to Rocky too. Because that's how he became part of history, by taking his bitch and breeding a Rocky. Look the pedigree. No, it always be. This is. I always say this right here is just such a important move in the motivation to do this right here. You don't see Honeycutt. No, you see Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Old black male. Yeah. But it was him, the key.
I'm going to give another big shout out to my man, Pitwise. He said his man was old boy from Jihad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, remember Jihad was Jihad. They was new hot. It was new. Remember when they first got in?
Yeah, you was. Remember? Yeah. Remember I was telling
the story, man.
But they were just, then they came in, then their head cracked. But they kept trying. They started landing some dogs. They started becoming competing, but they always was competing. They came in competing. They just didn't have the right dogs. And they lost a lot. But once they got their shit together, you know, he had some good dogs. He just had to land, they just had to land the right dogs. But one thing they was definitely, they weren't breeders. They weren't breeders. They matched dogs. You know, I hate to say it, like, you know, that's over 20 years ago. So I don't know, you know, I know we got jammed up, but shit, we're talking about 20 years. You know, they didn't even go that down far back in his indictment, you know. They got him starting early. You know? They don't want to even go back too damn far. They'd be like, you know what I mean? Because he go back, he was back there. He was back there in the 90s. Yeah, he was back there in the 90s. So, you know, and I can guarantee you, them couple losses that they suffered, you know what I'm saying? Trying to find the right dog. I don't even think they ever really did find the right dog. You know, this, you know, if I was Jihad, I would have been doing things a little different. But they all had, you know, they had their own way. But if you can go back, I'd go back one day and go through some of the matches and shit and let y'all see, you know, they didn't have a particular line. You did a lot of searching throughout the years, and, you know, they just had good dogs. They didn't, I don't even think they care how they was bred, as long as they was good dogs. You know? And they stuck with it. I think the fight was more becoming, you know, really, never really hit that pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? But definitely got a lot of respect because they was definitely putting them down. You look at a couple champions and grand champions and winners out there, you're going to see Jihad in there. They might have lost to him, but they wasn't hiding from nobody.
I want to give a big shout out to my brother in the house, Pit Dog. What up, fam? This was from Courtney Edwards Mo. He said, twin, was the 3/4 Red Boy, quarter Jeep a better cross than the 3/4 Jeep, quarter Red Boy?
I don't think it was nothing better about either one. I think it was the combination of how it worked. I don't think it was a quarter, half, and half. Like, okay, if I'm breaking it down, let's start with Rocky. And he ain't got no Red Boy in him. But if you look at Rocky, you explain to me why you see greatness in this dog. I mean, just imagine if we got Johnson right here. That means he took his grand champion, Miss Rage, his low posse's busted bitch, and I'm going to tell you something, that bitch was rough. Now, the bitch could have been a car. If you could have found something to stay with her ass. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I'm just keeping it real with you.
She was like another solo.
Yeah, she was. She was like, I was telling him about Solo. I said, they go Solo litter mate right there. Well, possibly, no, not that one. It was the other one. Here, let me go get back to his offspring. But I think the factor in this one right here, I'm gonna go to Red Boy. But I'm gonna tell you the factor was this shit. You can always see that Kobe snooping around in all this great shit, y'all. We talk so much about Jeep and all them. You know, Patrick. You know, you look for certain dogs like Bolio, and when you go looking back there, you go beyond Bolio, and you go back there and beyond, you see dogs like Tudors, Diabo. But this one right here, you see it? That Heinzel, Kobe crossing. Yeah. And that's a look, you see I was crossing it up, right? Let me go back where I was at. That was down here. They took that right stuff right here and they bred it. That Whitney bitch. Look how they bred it now. They doubled up on the Buster. To me, that you're damn near creating, you're down there making the same breed and created a honey bunch. And down here at the bottom, if you wanted to play with the Kobe and the Hansel, then it goes back to the old family red shit. You know what I'm saying? You think about a Red Boy even in there. It's got Kobe all over it. You know, Kobe wasn't no fan to admit that, you know, he was, you know, had anything to do with those old family reds. But, you know, there's definitely proof and facts that several of those old family red and those dogs came off of Kobe's yard. You know what I'm saying? A couple of them Heinzels was old family reds. But to see that, 1954. Look at them old bulldogs right there. I'm trying to tell you, these dogs right here, back in the day, they wasn't nothing to be playing with.
Able to carry as long as it did.
It was right. This shit was damn near like. This shit was damn near like, you know, very seldom you hear the old Heinzel name. But let me tell you something. These dogs, when you look at how they was breeding, that's the part I'm trying to get y'all to see. And you get the same old results. They doing in 1954, we seeing the same old results. In 1954, doing the same old type breedings, y'all. From way back there to all the way up here. And then you see it's still working. Still working. Still working. You know, I was going to go down that grand champion. You don't see another grand champion on this goddamn page. One thing for damn sure. When you have one and you get a chance to see one being choked up in all that work and all that work carried another generation, you know what I'm saying? Makes you feel good. You see that breeding. You see the results. And we get to you, Courtney, in just a second. Okay, I'm going to flick over and show you some more results. I mean, I just had to go there because great breedings do the same thing regardless of what line you're using. If you crossing and breeding that shit the right way, it's going to work for you. I just wanted to point that out. because, and I just had to go back to it because that right there is damn near the same shit that I was talking about back then. About how they was breeding and the results they was getting. You know, and I was talking to Mike. I'm gonna go back a little further, and I'm gonna play with Brat now, but I'm not on Brat. I'm gonna show you where I'm going tonight. With this a little different. We're gonna talk about the dog to be Rocky. You see what his match weight was? Nope. I mean, he survived with Ace. That was Ace's longest match. Yeah, Rocky was Ace's longest match. But look how much weight Rocky gave up. But we can talk about the Angus part up here. We can go Jeep, we can go Angus. Either way, you know, the focus that I'm on is this one. This one right here. I'm going to tell you why I'm on this one right here. Because of this bitch. Not just because of Zebo. Not just because of Zebo. But this bitch right here. You see her? You see what it said? Great producing. OM bitch. Sporting dog. Produced champions win bred to grand champion. Grand champion Art. Grand champion Zebo. Grand champion Buddy. I mean, you would say, damn. I'll probably have some luck too. But I'm going to tell y'all the major factor what made this bitch so important. Remember that story I always told you about old Powell? Remember how Tornado bred? How is Tornado bred? You know, I told you guys, and you know, some of you might be in here remembering the story, and some of you guys that ain't heard the story about old James Powell. And how North Carolina, he right down there with Atlas and all them. I'm talking about triplets that had old Stevens Big Ben. I mean, even motherfucking Harry Hargrove. I'm down there with them. I'm telling y'all, they did not fuck with James Powell, old Sheriff Powell, because he had hat-trick dogs. The man had hat-trick dogs, and I told y'all. You know, when we made that breeding, we always was wondering, now we could put all them other great dogs that he had, but didn't nobody mess with Sheriff Powell in that yard he had. And I'm telling you, they didn't. They didn't. But look at Tom's Spider. Look at Tom's Spider. What do you see? Right? Let me show y'all something right quick while we on that subject. And you know, that's still some going hard shit because, you know, that's coming off the grand champion Ace anyway. Remember, Tommy Spider. That's coming off of Ace. Ace coming off of that shit, okay? Now let's pull up Tornado. I'm going to show you the things that you be missing. Great shit. Ten-time winning bitch. I was telling y'all about those Sheriff Powell. See, there goes Sheriff Powell right down in there. That's all Sheriff Powell right there.
Right out of Carolina.
Right out of Carolina. Look at this shit. The one thing that he always talked about, he always said why they didn't want to mess with him. Because they didn't want to mess with this Hetrick stuff. Remember I told y'all I didn't know much about none of the dogs. But he always talked shit about the Hetrick shit. Atlas, all of them. But look, what do you see back there? This is tornado shit now, y'all. That's tornadoes back. Lightner and Hetrick. Still pieces of old family red shit too. There go that Kobe. Now that's the back end of tornado. This is where I was, right? No, I wasn't right here. Yeah, it was. But I was, yeah. I think that was right in here. See all that Kobe? I just think it plays one of those major parts when you start constantly stumbling. Remember, Kobe he goes in many different directions. You see the Hetrick dogs square across, you see all the indications that leading the red boy. But that right there is tornadoes back in. That's tornado shit. I'm trying to find Ace. I'm trying to get back to him. Okay, yeah. There you go. That's what I was trying to get. Y'all see what I'm saying? Now that's Toxic Spider. And this is tornado shit. Pieces of two great dogs that nobody really paid much of attention to. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't this. It just wasn't. Let me get back here. Let me show y'all something. Remember, this is Tornado's bottom. But look how the dog is bred. This is Cheryl Powell's shit. Cheryl Powell sent these dogs up there. These dogs went straight up to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And there go Frank Bunce. They hung out. And there was some good shit that came off of this shit. But remember, this is Tornado's bottom side. And then we look at Toxic Spider and her bottom. I mean, that's just her all the way around. That's just her. But look how she was bred, and let's see how she produced when she was bred. Same thing down there like Cheryl Powell. You breed them the good shit, you're going to get good shit.
Stress that point, Mo. Stress that point, Mo.
Champion Cape bred the buddy. What you think the major factor was? You really think it was Kingfish? Or that Hetrick shit? You see what I'm saying? You know, you would say, oh, shoot, buddy. No. That's a major factor there. That's all I'm saying. We got double, already now. We still dealing with a double grand champion with Tornado, and this is not Tornado shit here. But let's take a look. Let's look. That was Kate. They go champion Wooly. Here's champion Wooly. There's another factor there. We know what the bottom looking like. Can't take nothing away from him. But we already know where this is going to take us. We already see it coming all up in here. Don't forget the bottom. What is the factor at, y'all? Can you see the factors? And that's Tornado's bottom, y'all. Judy was a bad one. She produced. And you see what they did? That wasn't hard to do. This dog right here, Saloon, we all know was a good dog. Divine, was it a major factor? Oh yeah, because Cassius Clay and them, this was a good setup right here. Good setup right here. Line of good match dogs. But what was the factor? Let's see. Look what he produced. And we know who Butch is. We know him. You see it? We know who he was. Satan beat this one. Yep, Satan beat this one. And Satan's sister lost to her. But if you look at the breedings, guys, what would you call the major factor in Tornado? Would you really give it to Butch? Would you say it was the saloon shit? Saloon shit? They had another line of dogs coming off of this show. I forgot the name, but it was another badass bitch. She was a female. It came down off of this stuff. I think it was, matter of fact, I think it came off of Taurus. Let me see, I'm trying to remember. I know she was, there she go. This little chick right here. Yeah, that's her. And that's the litter mate. Yeah, these dogs were all down in Carolina. These dogs got sent up to PA as puppies. Yep. This is the breeding we were talking about that we did helping Paul when he bred these two dogs. These two dogs right here. And I was with him when he started moving those dogs up to Pittsburgh. But look at the synopsis that I was talking about. These dogs are throwing match dogs, and this is still a factor that when they produce killers. These are the kind of breedings that everybody didn't get their chance to put their hands on, maybe because he was a sheriff, maybe. But I know they was tight-nipped and quiet about it. But these dogs was produced in North Carolina, actually Kinston, North Carolina. Breeding was made in Kinston, North Carolina, sent up to Pittsburgh, and when all that shit happening, and then when you look back and say, now what would I call the factor in these badass dogs? Well, I just goes back here to tell you that I liked it. Tom's Spider. Tom's Spider is a prime example of what I was talking about. Why didn't nobody mess with those dogs? And to be honest, when we was picking the dog to breed, when we was picking the dog to go breed to, when we didn't get a chance to go to Ozzy's house and Ace popped up as one of those dogs, that was one of the first comments that I made to my boy, my KP, when I was looking over the pedigree. When I seen that Hetrick TNT, I spoke on that. And I told him about O'Shea Powell, and that I think the major factor in the Miss Woolly stuff, crossing with Zebo, is what really put that kick, into that bottom. Even with the story being Angus or Charlie, it still was a head up grabbing the thing. But I know that those Hetrick dogs had mad ass ability. And I'm talking about they were like real fast and would wreck your shit. Yes, I seen Powell roll the mama and the daddy. And believe me, it wasn't with Atlas or none of them. And I'm telling you, we was down there with all of them. And wasn't nobody, everybody liked it to play, but then nobody liked to play with his dogs. Now he would roll, he had Levi. Powell's Levi. Levi was off the smeller. Right off the smeller too. And and we got a chance to go into that Buster D dog, that came off of that low posse, one of them low posse leaders, and beat him. But nobody ever wanted to go in the Powell when it came to matching one of them Hetrick dogs. So I would have to say, that's a line in itself that's a sleeper. Because who was the common factor to the grand champion that she was bred to? Can we say that? Or can we say, if you want some real great shit, if you ain't sleeping, I would have had more Hetrick out there. Because you got to remember, go back and look at Tornado shit. That Hetrick shit was bred into the saloon shit and produced a double grand champion. The Hetrick shit was bred into Zebo. Right? Hetrick shit was bred to Zebo. And picked up Miss Woolly, who produced a grand champion. Champion Woolly bred the Buddy, produced the winner, Champion Kate. They bred the Art, the Champion Queen. But if you notice, you're taking that Hetra shit and you keep putting it on that power shit. And every one of them. But the common factor to me that they all had in common, that these was all rough ass, badass dogs, was that Hetric bottom. That was a key factor. You know what I'm saying? Gentlemen, if you just, it's those kind of things that we look for. I mean, you go to, I would call paper breeding. But you see who we paper breeding with. We paper breeding to pedigrees that, are coming off of matched dogs. We ain't playing way back then generations, because if you notice, there ain't nothing back here. But I can guarantee you, every one of these dogs, I can tell you there's a few of these dogs that you're going to find right over there. Where's he at? Old Smokey? I think there was one named Smokey that you're going to find right over there in tornado shit.
We knew them Hetric dogs. Heart of Carolina, ain't nobody fucking with them.
Right. I mean, we in the heart of Carolina, and I don't know where Mr. B. Hetrick was, but I can tell you one damn thing. I'm telling you, didn't nobody. It was like he was top dog down there when it came to his putting his dogs down. And that's for real.
James Edwards, Timsy, Triplet,
Hargrove.
All of them right there.
But he definitely got a chance to get them out of the Carolinas up into up north, and they definitely went on to become great. And like we see in these dogs right here, those little things that, and I just wanted to go back and say, we put so many emphasis on these dogs, and I keep on talking about over and over how important the right bitch is. And the kind of dogs the right bitch will produce. That's what I'm really rocking on right now. The slightest thing. Now, when we go observing, oh shit, I'm sorry guys, hold on. I gotta get back. But when we go observing these kind of breedings and stuff, and we look at that, did you notice all that Kobe? And did you notice the Hetrick and the Heinzel all kind of worked its way back to Kobe? And while we back there, we checking out Kobe's dime, Kobe's penny, Kobe's rifle. And you keep going back and looking a little further, you'll be seeing those touches of those old family red-nosed dogs. Remember back then, they was pretty rough-ass dogs back then, and they picked up a name. Now, you know the story that Kobe said he ain't never had nothing to do with the old family reds, but that's not true. Because we will find rifle, and you go do your homework with Kobe's rifle, you will find Kobe's rifle played a major play in the producing of some of them early old family red-nosed dogs. You got to watch that. You got to watch that, and you'll see it. You'll see it, and you'll find that, and it'll bring you all the way in. You got to remember, you got Red Boy. Would you call him an old family red-nosed dog? Well, if you paying attention, follow back, we already know Red Boy got Kobe in him. Got Teal, Sarge, all that other shit too. The same line of dogs that we found even in these other dogs. Let me show you. Where was we at? See that? You still see them back there. See? And if you notice, again, got to be prime breeding stock. We talk about them Hanzo dogs. Get the fine breeding stock, but look how they're stocking. You added some Diabo to it, but we're still playing around in a lot of Kobe dogs. A lot of Kobe. You just make that one little click over, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. And we can do this and run this like we do the same thing when we go playing with Red Boy. It's not to have Jeep, have Zebo, because we can go and do the same thing with Jeep. And this is just going into the deeper parts of it. Pay closer attention. That's what I be saying. Pay closer attention. Don't just look for the norm, because it's not always the norm. It's the things that you think is the norm. But there's other things to this stuff that made this stuff work so well. We're seeing the same thing, ain't we? We're seeing the same thing that we were seeing over here. Hold on. Let me get myself back here, right? Go back here. That's saloon. Get you back here where I want to be.
Courtney Edwards said that we know a guy named Snake out of Farmville. We knew a snake.
I don't know about the snake.
We knew Snake. I don't know if it was the same Snake.
Right. Yeah, we knew Snake, but he was in Kinston. But this is, you see where I'm at, right? It's the TNT stuff. But we see these same old, look what we looking at. See what we seeing? The Hetrick stuff looking like hold on. Oh, I forgot about the mouse. Thanks. Yeah, you see the Hetry stuff looking just like the old Finley Bow stuff. See, so you know there's something to it. You know there's something to it. Look down here. You see Monkey in Texas and all them? Look down here. See them? And that's tornadoes. This is tornado shit. You know, see what I'm saying? That's tornadoes. This is tornadoes bottom. That's Finley Bow. Kobe. So you know that in itself right there is an indicator there's a connection. We can do the same thing to Tommy Spider. Remember, now we going to throw Tommy Spider into the equation because we were doing the same thing with her. Remember? So we got Tornado and Tommy Spider. Now we didn't add it Jeep. Now let's go and add Red Boy. Remember, I always was telling y'all that there's certain things that you just take them certain type of dogs, certain dogs. This gonna be in the history of the dog game. You're gonna always have them top dogs. I said them top ones. If you took Jeep, Frisco, Yellow, Mayday, all them, Honey Bunch, and Awesome Baby. Take all that line of dogs, Grand Champion, but pull them out of there. Pull their pedigrees off of there and tell me if you're going to find any greater bred dogs than them top 5 to 6 dogs. You won't find them. You won't be able to put up the numbers that these dogs has put up through good firm breedings. Good firm breedings. Who was I going to pull up? Red Boy. Want that one. Now, when we look at it, you see it. You see it. You see it. So when we go and put up and we would go back there and just shoot back there, and you know what we're going to see. You know exactly what we're going to see. You see the familiar names? You see them? Make it a little bit more clear for you. See what I'm saying? You see him? Now imagine when you look at White's tab. The way tab was bred, can't even call that a key factor. Can't even call that an out. This here, on top of that there, still Kobe. And even in them other pedigrees, we were still adding some Daibo. We were still finding Daibo. We were still finding low posse dog. But you notice, look what's going on here. Heavy producing. Heavy producing. So when guys ask questions like, well, what do you think? If I'm picking up and noticing things like this right here, and you seeing the results. Remember, we did this with Tornado. Going back to Sheriff Powell. We did this to Grand Champion Ace. A big major factor in the going hard dogs, and still going back to that Hetrick stuff, Kobe stuff. Now we over here in the Jeep section with the Red Boy. We're dealing with Tab and all them, and we still going back, noticing there's a common factor in some of them strongest bloodlines out there. Remember, I can still do this with yellow. I can throw yellow in the equation when I go grab Yellow John, because it's going to take me all the way back to Red Boy anyway, which is going to take me back to Kobe. That strain had a producing strain of match dogs if you just had the right ones. Like you said, I could do the same thing with Buck. I could do the same thing with Frisco. Remember, Awesome Baby, she's covered by Buck. I can go to Patrick Tater and run the same old thing, which is going to also include more yellow. And then when we start talking about yellow, then we got to go, but we talking about just Buck. Then we go playing on in the Buck zone. Guess what we going to be running into? Patrick Tater. We start going back on Patrick Tater, running into that Patrick stuff. You're going to see a whole bunch of Patrick dogs of greatness. Mayday, Grand Champion Buck, and all the other things that came by that way. Awesome Baby, as always hung around up there with who? Honey Buns. But you still look, Buck and Yellow, they're already on the top of the list already. They're already on the top of the list. They're already on the top of the list. And my argument, it's not even an argument. What I was trying to get to, hold on, let me see. Everything on that list we plays with. Everything that works for us, we played with it. Got all the right ones in there. You're gonna find all you're gonna find all the right dogs in there, and we gonna find our Hetrick shit. We even got us some old James Powell in our shit. When I say Powell, I'm talking about the Hetrick dogs. I mean, these are matched dogs. I think, when you're breeding, and I ain't trying to be your old tutor, but I always said there was something special that made our dogs different than the normal Mayday dog. Made our dogs different than the old buck dogs. And I look back now and say it was probably because it was definitely something that was carried out of Ace. That was one trait that we never lost. That strong trait. It's probably, we can always put it on it not being Charlie, could have been Angus. But we can also say, with that hat-trick bottom, you couldn't lose. With that hat-trick coming through that Tommy Spider, based on what we know, yes, it had the genetic makeup to implant itself into our line of dogs that made all the dogs carry a trait of the back end attack. You know what I'm saying? And if you was to actually look and just say, study the pedigree, what made these dogs going hard dogs was maybe because of the grand champion, Ace, maybe because of the hat-trick. But one thing it did, gave us the power to reproduce too. But how can you not when you got all those great dogs sitting up there that was already producers in winners? It's not a rocket scientist's job when they're making it easy for you. That's why I gotta jock everybody that I mess with, because you always hear me keep saying. And then I go watching what they was doing, and I start following their lead, and then I start paying attention to why they was doing it, and I started noticing something. You know what I'm saying? And how they got to where they was going. Look at her. Miss Nico. Complete Jeep dog. But is she really? Look at all the shit that she's got in her. We didn't damn near had a chance to see every one of these dogs in just a little run through that we was doing. I keep telling y'all. Look at that. So we see Zebo and our going hard dogs. How many times you gonna see Zebo? You're gonna see him in our buck. You're gonna see him in our ace. And you're going to see him in our yellow coming off a Wrangler. Lady Sassy Me. Don't forget Lady Sassy Me. Then again, more Hanzo dogs. See what I'm saying? Start seeing them same old names again. There was the old little Lightner, the Heinzels. You see what I'm saying? Whole line of them. Old man Lightner was doing it. But remember where I just come from. Don't forget who we talking about. Old Goldie. Common names that we seen in every one of them lines that we was just dealing with. All great dogs. And guess what? We seen Lightner in them. We seen Diebo in them. Am I right? No. And if you notice,
Motion detected at the front side.
They all were great producers. These dogs were producing dogs. These dogs wouldn't even be on the screen if they weren't worth a shit. All the way back. They all had that one thing that they could do. You got dogs that you put in Buck. You had Jeep in Buck, in Yellow. You go in there in Honey Bunch. You go on your ROM list and listen to the names of the dogs I just named. How can you not produce this type of shit over and over? And I said this is a good note to guys when we talking about breeding. It seems to work every way you go. Still the same old shit. Same old shit. Same old stuff. Look back there. You're going to still find those dogs on that list. You're going to still see Amber on that. You're still going to see these dogs on that list. Y'all see all that Yellow John? You can't get more Yellow John than that. Yeah, that's our dog. Don't forget old Wrangler. $3.43 with Cunningham's Cotton. Come on now. We know all this gonna lead to. But don't forget this piece right there. See her? And we back to them same old names again. There they go. See them? Same old people we seen back there. We seen all that stuff back there in Tornado. Yes, we did. Remember? Them old names. We seen it right back there in Grand champion ace. Now you seeing it up here in amber. So when you're seeing it, and there's common factors to all these, and how this is before us, and we getting our hands on it, and this is what we're picking up on. See, that's what made James Pope a bad boy, because he taught me well to understand what I was looking at. And we're still talking about match dogs. Yeah, even the bottom. With all that heavy Jocko. See the littermate to the old gypsy? The littermate. And y'all know him. Yeah. Again, who was the move? This was the move. And it all, what I tell y'all, it's that one little factor. You want to see how it worked? Ozzy played in it. It wouldn't be hard to do if you see what I'm saying? You see it, y'all? At least he still got a face. Ozzy knew something too, didn't he? This thing, we looking for Ozzy and we don't get Ozzy, but we end up getting Ace. Come on. Yeah, we talking about it to this day. Wow. See what I'm saying? Same old lineup. See that? Tell me that ain't Red Boy G. Remember, we seen all this. Remember, we seen dog bread like this. We seen them like that. It's still Red Boy Jeep, ain't it? I hope I'm answering your question, Courtney. Are you checking this out, Courtney? I was taking you on a ride right now. Seeing if you can figure that out. That answer. You see, when you look a little closer and a little deeper, you start picking up things on what's really carrying their lines. And again, I say, them top ROM dogs, if I'm going to build, and I have put out enough evidence that if I'm going to build, I'm building off of this type of stuff because I'm recognizing what I'm going to build with. Remember, I took y'all, and all this started because of Amber's mama. Amber. Her. And remember what she did. But we've seen all this before, right? We seen all this. But we know why it worked. We know why it worked when we bred the Mayday. We know why it worked when we bred it to the Stone City stuff. It just didn't work for us. It was working in the whole time in other places in other ways. But they all had the sinking thing. They had that one thing they was all getting in common. See it more, see it? There's certain things that you just can't get by. These dogs, remember we were just over there. We were just over there. We didn't been on this route already. We're still picking it up. You see it and you wonder, it wasn't by fluke. This shit right here is just not by fluke. This cross here is just nothing by fluke. This is the same cross that created the Stone City when you paid attention. This stuff right here is the same stuff that when you start looking at it and all the way around the circle, you can say we can find some of this shit in Tornado. Yes, we can. We can find some of this shit in Ace. I mean, a lot of these breedings that you're seeing being made, Toxic Spider, you're seeing a common factor. Battle dogs. Battle dogs. So you can't say, all these dogs was just winning off of 1 yard and all we can do is take the pedigrees and live off of what that 1 yard did. No, these are blood. This is blood that's coming off, getting in the other hand, standing on its own right, because it's getting in his hands of the guys that can make it right. And again, to have those type of winners, you got to look at the dogs that are being bred to get them. That's all I'm saying. She didn't have a bundle of my brother. He wasn't bred but one damn time. He only had 2 dogs. And this is the cold dog. This one was the cold dog. But look how he's bred, right? Excuse me, gentlemen. Yeah, you see what they did? Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, we was playing around even with that. You see where it's going? You put more on top of it, look what you get. Same old makeup. Same old makeup. I hope I'm showing you something, Mr. Courtney Edwards. It's just a combination of certain things you look for that you see. The same old thing. Same old shit. Fatty girl. You know who she is. Go back and look up Screaming Demon. You see me just pulling them in. You see her there. That's her right there. Same dog. Y'all see that? Producing. Heavy fatty girl. Heavy fatty girl. Look at the cross. What is the cross? Red boy. There's a little tater right along with the yellow. We know that. Still. More red boy. Like Mr. Courtney Edwards, I'm going. This is my last one right here. I just wanted to show y'all just to put the stamp on them up on it. You know what I'm saying? Just to finish out with the stamper. This is why shit works. And there's Bubba. What do you see there? What do you see? The same old shit, ain't it? Why wouldn't it work? Do you see what I'm doing, Mr. Edwards? I'm pointing out these things. We know what that leads to. That leads back to going hard shit too. And when you go messing with this one right here, you don't want to see me where I go with that one, because that one's going to take you all the way back to BJ and Charlie and Satan, and then we're going to see some more of that, which is going to lead us to dogs, more champions, grand champions. But you see, it's the same workup. And they still consist of those major dogs that we talked about earlier. And you'll find our imprint in all this stuff. In all this stuff, you will find our imprint. That's a Going Hard imprint. Ass scratch line news. My nephew. Now, what I just did, I took y'all for a ride because my man Courtney Edwards asked a question. And whether to explain it to him tonight, I wanted to show him. And let him go digging in and analyzing just in the dolls that I bought up that was related to our shit. When we said that we wasn't trying to be no rocket scientists, we weren't trying to be no rocket scientists, but we knew how to follow a pattern. And as you can see, our proteges was not no dummies about it either. They followed the pattern too. And they racked up a couple great dogs in the process themselves. Remember, I showed you little Jimmy. There's plenty more of those. You'll find them in the book. They're Going Hard book. They're all listed. But the main thing that I was trying to point out is, did you notice something? That I said it was still a fact. That if you go to that RM list and you take the first 5 dogs, you go on the male side, you know what's going to be there. We know we're going to see Yellow. We know we're going to see Mayday. We know we're going to see Frisco. We know we're going to see G. We know we're going to see them. We're going to go over here and see Honey Bunch. We're going to go over here and see Awesome Baby. We're going to go over here and see Grand Champion Buck. We're going to see all those dogs there. And if you notice, guess what? When you put all those dogs together, you have been continuing to create great match dogs. And I think in the last show and a couple of times, I was pointing down the line of some of the shit that was more up to date. So I fell back today to show you the up to date shit. I was showing you where it was coming from. The combination, even on the up to date shit, still had that working combination there. The Gardner Tramp Red Boy stuff. The St. Benedict's Bailey stuff. You know what I'm saying? The Cunningham's Red Man stuff. A little touch of that. When you start talking about real yellow dogs, them's the real yellow dogs right there. Them dogs that have been able to create. You don't have to stay all up in Red Boy because Red Boy works as a combination, as a cross. That if you inject those certain dogs in it, you get results, ongoing results. And when you can put it together right, every blue moon there's a great grand champion that pops up out of there, and when you look at the pedigree, you know why. That was just my little quick run through. I grabbed one, and this was just for Courtney, where he can go back and hit rewind and then go and answer his own question. And once he realized and see what my answer to him was, where he can analyze and see exactly what I'm talking about, he'll know how to breed it. He'll know what he's looking for, because it's showing you as a fact that it's working. You didn't see me pull up one goddamn dog that wasn't a champion or a grand champion. And how we got to that. There is a talent. Everybody want to create their own shit. Okay, but some of us don't just want to create our own shit. Some of us just want to get some shit to win with. And why not follow the leader if you know how to follow the leader? Everybody can't follow the leader because they can't see what the leader's doing. And if you can't pay attention and you don't know enough to know what the leader's doing, then you're still just grabbing for apples and you're just trying to put papers together that look like that shit. But did it give you the results that we were getting when we did it? And why not? Why didn't you get it? Even though it's bred alike, what happened? Because it don't work for everybody. Gotta work it to see it work. Anything, Mike? Any questions? Anybody have any statements? Mike's going over there looking at the chat because we're going to shut it down. I think I took that on a good ride. You know, I just wanted to just bring that up, and I'm always going to inject my shit in here. How am I going to not inject my shit to get y'all to understand that I know what I'm talking about because I've done it. I've studied it. I've seen it. So why not share it with you to see what I see? Right? That's all.
I want to give a big shout out to my man C Wood. Big shout out to Pony. Big shout out to Inglewood, Kennels in the Hills. Big shout out to James Horton. Big shout out to Ken 6 Yoda. What up, fams? Bulldog Jones, I see you, fam. Viking Family Roll. Viking Roll family, I see you, fam. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Big shout out to my man Michael Collins. SFK Fred. I see y'all, fam. Hey, fellas, be at that time of the night. I need y'all to help me out here with the 47 people we still got in the chat. I need y'all to give me some thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Muscles, muscles, muscles. Now, give us some damn roses.
Come on, y'all. Help me out here. I mean, I know I was moving a little fast. I know I left up there enough for y'all to study. Come on now. Give me some roses.
Come on. Give me some damn roses.
Who knew anything about that TNT? You damn twin. You showed me some shit I didn't notice before. Made me have to go back and look at that shit again.
Then give me some. We need them damn roses. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that red boy shit is one of the most prolific crossers out there, man. And I wouldn't even say just red boy, just the Kobe shit itself. Major player. Major player. You know, and like I said, the Lions have been being built like this for years. We've seen how they was doing it, and if you notice, those who followed the formula all the way up are those that we're pulling up 20, 30 years later. And looking back in the bloodlines and seeing the same shit that we was talking about 20, 30 years ago, and understanding clearly why we were able to take way back there and bring it way up here. We just been fortunate enough to be able to put our name on.
Appreciate the love, fellas. Keep giving the love. Keep giving the love.
And I hope that was a classroom that I'm telling you, man, if y'all go back and look at this stuff and really start pulling it up and really diving into it, what I showed you guys is very educational, and it's going to shock the shit out of you once you figure it out. Thanks, guys, for coming out here watching me, man. I hope you know, and if you notice, I hate to tell y'all, you know, Eli and them didn't make it on that list, did they? But they there because of Honey Bunch. So don't go hating. You can't never forget Honey Bunch.
Stay true to the American Pit Bull Terrier community with the real.
If you have any questions, it's goinghardreloaded@gmail.com.
Hit us up. We'd be glad to do all we can to help answer any questions. See if we can just make things just a little bit easier on you and better. Because that's what we're here to do. Keep riding out with us and keep doing what we do. One thing we always gonna do, that's
one thing we sure to do all the time.
We always scratch the wind. Y'all know what's up.
You know what's up. You know how that go, though. You know how that go. You know how that go.
Hey, fellas, until Friday. Peace.
See what I'm saying?